Welcome to this week's community tarot reading. My name's Keziah Gibbons. My pronouns are she and her. I'm the founder of the Guided by Keziah app, and I'm also a Mickey taking disabled person. Let's get to this week's tarot reading. So, for February, the month of Valentine's Day, the month of love, we're doing the Love and Compassion Challenge on the Guided app. And so there's a lot of loving kindness practices, a lot of heart-centered practices. And it really is a wonderful thing to spotlight compassion. This is something that we need, that we always need. And it's something that inspires the spread today. So I've got just 4 positions for you today. And the first is compassion itself. Now, when I consider compassion, I look at the etymology of the word, and what we have is co-passion, shared feeling. And really compassion is, we see it a lot out in the world, and sort of we have a shorthand of it for kind of pity or feeling sorry for someone, but true compassion is much deeper, much richer than that. And it is about the recognition of the shared human experience that we share feelings. So everybody wants to be happy, everybody wants to be healthy, everybody wants to be safe. We all share this human experience, and even with non-human beings, we can have compassion as we tune into them, as we relate with them. So the first position here for today's reading is, how do we tune into the energy of compassion itself? So how do we align ourselves with that truth that's always true, but we don't always have it in front of mind, that we are all the same, that we are all having the same experience, and that we all want these things: love, happiness, safety, security. So the energy of compassion and how we can align with it is the first position. And then the next 3 are really taken from one version of the Metta or loving kindness practice. So Metta or loving kindness, you think of a series of people, or you bring in the energy of a series of people. So it can be, for example, someone you're close to that it's easy to feel, to wish good things for, someone that you feel neutrally towards, someone that you find difficult, and yourself. Those are the sort of series of people that I most often bring in my loving kindness meditations. And for all of those people, you wish this experience, this what we wish for all of us, what we all wish for ourselves. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be safe. So these 3 positions here are just those things. How do we align with the energy of happiness in ourselves and in the world? How do we align with the energy of healthiness in ourselves and in the world? How do we align with the energy of safety in ourselves and in the world? So those are the 4 positions today. And I'm using the Light Seers Tarot today by Chris Ann. So I'll invite you to take a deep breath. Just go inwards and set your intention today to receive what you need as you call in the energy of compassion. And that is our first position, compassion. How do we connect with the energy of compassion? And the card that we have here is the 9 of Cups. It's great that it's a 9. As you know, this is a hermit year this year. So we're working with the energy of the 9s. And the 9 of Cups, obviously the cups being about the heart-centered practice, perfect for the energy of compassion. And actually, the more I look at it, the more I love this card, for just to represent the energy of compassion and to remind us that it's never far away. this isn't a card that this is a card that is very aligned with the energy of compassion, and so gives us that awareness that compassion is really very easy to step into. And with the Nine of Cups, I often see that, um, when we are tending to our own selves and our own hearts, we can we have enough to share as well. So one person doesn't need 9 cups, but when you are one person who has 9 cups, it's very easy to be able to offer a cup to someone who stops by, to your friend, to your family member, to your neighbor, to a stranger. So it's this reminder that we have enough and enough to share. And we're able to get into the energy of sharing and having enough also by tending to ourselves. So making that sure that we do have enough cups and that we do have our cups filled. And this light seer's 9 of Cups shows a person who is leaping from a treasure chest, and their 9 cups are all in the air. They look like kind of singing bowls, this symbol of meditation. And that there's a light shining out from behind this person's heart space as they leap into the air with a real sense of freedom in their posture. And it really is a reminder that compassion and compassionate ways of being are a treasure that we can all tap into. So it doesn't require a lot of investment. It doesn't cost anything to cultivate an attitude of compassion. And as we cultivate an attitude of compassion, that naturally amplifies and becomes something that we have to offer, to share. And of course, the other thing of when we enough cups to share and we're sharing with those around us, is that also we won't be the only ones who are sharing. So, if we need to borrow a cup here and there, we can go and ask from, our family member, our friend, our neighbor, the stranger, whoever it is, and say, my cup's a bit empty at the moment. Can you help me to keep it full? And yeah, it's a really nice reminder. I love that this card has come up to represent compassion, that, even though the 9 cards tend to be quite individual, they usually only show one person. Even in our sort of individualism and our independence, we don't exist in a vacuum. We do and can rely on others, and others do and can rely on us. Okay, so then the energy of happiness. How can we be in touch with this energy of happiness? How can we tap into happiness for ourselves? And how can we create happiness in the world? And this is very wonderful. It's the Queen of Wands. So again, I really feel with these cards that what the deck's giving us here is just reflecting back these positions. Look at this for a picture of happiness. You've got a woman sitting cross-legged. She's holding up her wand, which is a sort of decorated um, stick. I'm not sure if it's also a musical instrument or not. In one hand. In the other hand, she's conjuring a flame, and she's looking at it with an expression of such joy on her face, such excitement that she is able to conjure. That she's enjoying her own magic, her own energy, and she's sat cross-legged, surrounded by candles. So she's created an intentional space to practice her magic, and she's doing it, and it's great fun, and she's amazed and awed and in wonder at what she's actually able to do. And of course, the wands is about energy, passion, creativity, energy work. Such as Reiki, for example, but any form of energy work really. And the Queen of Wands is someone who is capable of doing that. Um, and I think this is a really important message at the moment, that in order to create energy of happiness in the world, tending to our own magic is a really important part of that. So, you know, being intentional, creating that intentional space. How am I going to direct my energy as well? The Queen of Wands has this ability to direct energy, and so we always have an invitation to be intentional in how we direct our energy. So creating intentional space, time for the things which excite you, the things which you're passionate about, the things which bring you joy to do, which bring you into a state of flow that you're good at, and then directing that energy intentionally. And that's all you have to do to kind of align with this energy of happiness. For health, then, how can we invite in health for ourselves and health, the energy of health to be in the world? And it's another court card. This is interesting. So we've got two sort of personification archetypes come up in these bottom three so far, and it's the Page of Pentacles. So this is a person who is standing on one leg. I'm not sure if they're also on a skate, but they are balancing it in the yoga, in a posture very similar to the yoga pose, which is called the tree. And so they're standing, they're wearing comfortable clothes, wearing a hoodie. They're standing in a circle, on one leg, balancing, and they're holding a great big pentacle, which is the size of their torso. And so I think we've been invited with these court cards into ways of being. In a reading for an individual person where one court card comes up, I might read that to represent the person. For readings with more than one court card, and certainly for community readings such as this for everyone, I definitely read these court cards as archetypes that we can step into. And it's interesting, the Page of Pentacles coming up in this position of healthy, the energy of health, because the Pentacles represents the material, the body, the physical body particularly, and our connection with the material world, which includes our connection, of course, with the earth. So the Page of Pentacles is an invitation to sense in. Now, pages always represent a beginner's mind, approaching things as if we don't know everything. Even when we do know everything, even when we're very, very experienced, we can always benefit from that beginner's mind, from a page-like energy. And the Page of Pentacles in this position of health is inviting us to really sense into. So in terms of personal health, this is very much an invitation to check in with your body, whether that's a quick sort of scan and check in and just how are you feeling in general, or whether that's at the point of doing anything that does typically affect your health, affect your body. So whether that is, you know, exercise, nutrition, sleep, all of the very basic things that that require a certain amount of commitment to maintain, but make all the difference in caring for health. So maybe feeling in to your body as you go about those things, you know, what feels good for you, what doesn't feel good for you. And with the posture of this page, we also have an invitation to balance. So, you know, can we find balance even without both feet on the ground? And this Page of Pentacles says yes. So, even at times where we don't have complete ease in the body, there is an ability to find some ease. I'm reminded of Vijamala Birch's work on mindfulness for pain. And one of the things that she advises is even when you're in a lot of pain, is that can you find a sensation that is okay or pleasant even at the same time. So that might be, you know, the feeling of clean sheets or a clean pillowcase against your face, or softness, even at the same time as anything else which is going on. So that's a trick which I think the Page of Pentacles has. And then in terms of the energy of health in the world, I have an image with this Page of Pentacles. It brings an image to mind of the way that we live in microcosm and macrocosm. And I think that's coming up as well in that Nine of Cups, in that Queen of Wands. So we think we're individual human beings, and we are. Our individual neurons and the cells of our body think they're individual cells, and they are, and yet somehow they make up a part of us as well. So this is the we have microcosms within us, and we're also part of this macrocosm where we are all part of the ecosystem, for example, of the earth. And so with this Page of Pentacles coming up, and Pentacles representing the earth, I wonder about practices, or maybe not even practices, just attitudes, a remembering, an intentional bringing to front of mind in our actions about that microcosm and macrocosm. I have a practice in the Sacred Earth Healing course where we merge with the earth, and we do a body scan as the earth, and we are also the planet at the same time as being the body that we are living in. And I'm reminded of that, you know, can we, when we think about health this week, or when we bring in the energy of health this week, can we do that in a way that reminds us that we are all connected, and that we're all part of the Earth's ecosystem, and that as well as being our own individual beings, we are also beings of the Earth. And then safety. How can we be safe? And so safety is an interesting one, because, you know, being safe and feeling safe are sometimes the same thing and sometimes aren't. And people do all sorts of things out of the desire for safety, or perceived safety, what makes them feel safe. But let's tune into genuine safety, you know, so safety, not being harmed in any way. And how can we be safe in ourselves, and how can we bring the energy of safety into the world this week? And it's another Pentacles card, and it's the Ace of Pentacles. And I love this Ace of Pentacles. You've got these two hands holding a pentacle, and the pentacle is a seed, and you've got little shoots, roots growing down through the fingers of the hands that are holding the pentacle down towards the earth. And you've got little shoots at the top of pentacle coming to, starting to grow. And again, the pentacles is about earth. And the Ace of Pentacles is really, aces are their beginning energy, their gifts. They're always gifts from the universe, you know. So for us this week, the universe is saying, here, have a pentacle. And that can be about our material resources, again, about earth, body, sometimes financial resources, or material resources, our homes, the clothes that we wear. All of these things are material resources that we have. And the Ace of Pentacles is a seed to plant. So so in this position of safety, the question is, how can we have a little bit more safety? And how can we plant seeds of safety for ourselves and those around us this week? And so that might be about language, about using language that assures people that they are safe. That might be about checking in. Aces are beginnings, or are at the beginning of the suit of Pentacles, or of their suits. And so, you know, we might be checking in with foundations of safety. You know, if we are feeling safe within ourselves, then that gives us a place to start, which can create an attitude of safety for everyone around us. And if we are not feeling safe within ourselves, then we may not act in ways that are safe. So coming back to the loving kindness meditation practice, one of the challenges that can come up with this practice is when you go to someone who you're having difficulties with or that you dislike, and you wish to, wish them, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe. I often, in my practice, will bring in politicians and public figures who have acted in very harmful ways to this practice, and that is challenging. And when I'm doing that practice, what I remember is that if they were genuinely happy and genuinely healthy and genuinely safe or aware of their safing, then they would not act in that harmful way. But the other thing that I bring into that meditation practice, because even when we're wishing loving kindness to all beings, we still have to protect ourselves. Is that, may they be safe. If this is someone that's doing harm, part of that wish, may they be safe, is also may they be behaving in a way that is safe for others. And so may they be safe in action as well as safe within themselves. So with this Ace of Pentacles here in safety, we're invited to plant seeds of safety. So again, really, the microcosm and the macrocosm, it starts with ourselves, checking in with, are we feeling safe? Checking in with how we feel in our body in different situations in reaction to things, noticing where we have feelings of not being safe, and coming back to our foundation. So sometimes when we feel unsafe, we might go into a physical reaction, sometimes described as fight or flight, or fight, flight, or freeze. Which is designed, ironically, to keep us safe. But this is not a handy way to be. We cannot live our lives in fight, flight, or freeze. In some situations, it may be appropriate momentarily, and then we have to let go of that. We have to move out of living in fight or flight, no matter what threats we perceive. And this comes back to, if we think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So safety and security are there at the bottom. And so you have sort of immediate needs, and then you have security, which is part of safety. And immediate needs are, am I okay in this moment? And sort of security needs are, am I going to be okay tomorrow, next week, next year, whatever it is? And so in terms of our physical reaction, our pentacles reaction, if we find ourselves caught in, am I going to be okay tomorrow or next week, and having a physical reaction to that, we can just bring ourselves back to this moment and, am I okay in this moment? And that's this foundation, this seed that the Ace of Pentacles offers us. Because we are more able to create safety for ourselves in any future moments, when we are feeling grounded in this moment. So it's a reminder to kind of come back into our bodies and to give our bodies freedom if we're not feeling safe, and how that then impacts the energy of safety in the world. Again, we are more able to act in ways that are safe when we are in that sort of groundedness. So an invitation to be in the moment, and to take things moment by moment there. So overall, we have the Nine of Cups for compassion, the Queen of Wands for happy, the Page of Pentacles for healthy, and the Ace of Pentacles for safe. And I think the other thing the Ace of Pentacles tells us there is we are safe right in this moment. So overall, this reading is a reminder that All of these things are available to us. Compassion is a natural state of being, and we are naturally compassionate beings, and compassion's so natural to us that we just have it. We just have it to offer. And if we're not feeling like we have it to offer, um, the person next to us might have it to offer and might be able to offer to us. And that's also part of compassion. It's not just giving, 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 it's receiving sometimes as well, when we need to. Happiness, if we can be really hooked up to our passions, to what's meaningful for us, then we naturally get into a state of flow and happiness, and that gives us a lot of energy. This Queen of Wands has got a lot of energy that we can then direct in the ways that we wish to. And of course, when we're wishing to direct our actions and our energies into loving kindness, into that creation of more happiness in the world for everyone. Health, the Page of Pentacles, so an invitation to sense into our own bodies and kind of be with how our bodies are responding to different things. And also to remember that there is balance available. That we can balance on one leg. We don't have to, even when we don't have both feet on the ground, that doesn't mean that we are unbalanced. It just means that we may need to sense into where we are in this moment in a different way. And then the Ace of Pentacles, the safety. So a reminder that we are safe. And if we're not feeling safe, then to come back to um, foundations and to create safe foundations within ourselves, within our feeling of safety. And then, yes, in the material plane, the actions which will create safety for ourselves and others. So that's this week's tarot reading. Thank you very much for joining me. I wish you a wonderful week ahead.